How are you, sir? Can you hear me good?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, mic check real quick. Just spell your name for me, your first name.
Spell it.
Yes, sir.
Pete.
Got it. Perfect. All right. Okay, Pete, if you don't mind just opening up with a quick recap of the game, and then we'll field questions for you.
Early morning start, kind of been our specialty all year, the quick turnaround thing, something we've really invested in. Uh, Chad just does what he does and gave us a chance to win, filled up the zone with all his pitches, and then we kind of just wore down their starter, a couple big swings here and there, and just kept trying to stack our quality at bats, and good things happened.
Okay, thanks, Pete. First question comes from Ben.
Sorry, I couldn't hear you that well. Pete, just walk me through that three-run homer and kind of what you saw there. And I know you just spoke about the quick turnaround and you all being able to bounce back well this season. Was there any different mindset, or was it business as usual?
Kind of just business as usual. To go back to that at bat, was really just trying to hit a ball right back up the middle with 2 outs, hit a low line drive. He kind of left me a little mistake over the middle, put a good swing on it. And I had to talk to it a little bit to get over, but luckily it did.
Ryan is next.
You guys saw Mississippi State's ace and two of its best relievers and one of the best relievers in the SEC. And to hang 12 runs, just how much confidence does that give y'all going forward?
It's a lot of confidence. We have a really good team and have a really good lineup, 1 through 9, and we kind of care who's on the other side, but we also really don't. It's more of kind of focus on us and just trying to put together a quality at bat and get it to the next guy, and we did that very well today.
Troy's next.
Pete, what was the importance of getting those runs early? Obviously, in a situation like this, where you're kind of facing elimination regional next week, I'm sure coaches are put into a position where they have to think about next week if y'all just keep it close late. I guess however important was it to get those runs early and get it?
It's always important. We always say when we throw up a 0, the door's open to take the lead right away. So it's just something we've always believed in. We like to score early and often, but it definitely gives us a lot more confidence when we come out of the gate strong and score first.
Wes is next.
Yeah, Pete, I guess when teams are in situations like y'all are in and maybe Vanderbilt and State, and that you're going to have a good seed going forward for the tournament, some people wonder just how much this tournament means. And I guess y'all playing an elimination game at 9:30 a.m. and you go out there and you score 13 runs, I guess it does matter to y'all, doesn't it?
We're a very competitive group. We want to go out there each and every time and give it our best. But, these games mean a lot to us. Me personally, this is only the second time I've been here. I want to kind of prove that we kind of belong here and we can win here. So we just want to go out in each and every game and just kind of compete.
On that home run, were you sitting on that pitch there, or were you kind of thinking more, opposite field, lefty on lefty? What was your mindset, and what did you see on that pitch?
I was kind of just looking something to kind of hit back up the middle, like a little low line drive because there were 2 outs. But I don't know if I was really sitting anything. He just left me a pitch over the middle of the plate, and I put a good swing on it, and kind of the rest is history. But yeah, that's about it.
Mike is next.
Yeah, Pete, what did you guys do to kind of rally back after the way that last night went, just offensively, to then come out and have this performance?
Coach V told us yesterday we can either let it fuel us or kind of let it sit bitter with us. And we knew that was a tough one yesterday, and we just really wanted to get back and get on the field to play again. And luckily we had the very first game and the first opportunity to do so.
Troy is next.
Here are two questions for you. The first one, you mentioned this kind of been this team's MO, resolve, and bounce back. I guess what is it about this group that doesn't matter with this heartbreaking passion? You get punched in the face, you don't seem to do bounce back the next day as well as you there.
I mean, we always pride ourselves in being able to bounce back. This game has a lot of ups and downs, and if you can kind of keep yourself even keeled and not get too high and not get too low, it gives you the ability to kind of take a punch but also give one right back.
And second question, it's the program's first win here in Hoover since 2007. I guess what does that mean to you to be a part of ending that drought?
I mean, it means a lot. I mean, we really just are trying to go out there and compete at the best of our ability each and every game and kind of play for each other. And just to do, like you said, do something that hasn't been done here in a long time for this program is always something special to me.
Ben is next.
Yeah, Pete, it felt like you all hit the ball as well as you did yesterday. Just the difference was today they found holes, and yesterday they didn't. Did you all kind of have that feeling in the dugout as well?
I mean, we knew we hit some balls very well yesterday, and today it's just kind of how the cookie crumbles sometimes. It's baseball. Sometimes you hit the ball well and it gets caught. Sometimes you hit a ball off the end of the bat and it drops and you get a double out of it. So we just try to keep putting good swings on the ball, and today they found the holes and put together a lot of really good at-bats to score a lot of runs.
Okay, Pete, the final question will come from Ryan.
Obviously, 2019 was y'all's first time in this tournament in a long time, and I think a lot of first time for you guys playing postseason baseball. You feel like kind of the mindset entering this weekend or this week was better, and y'all were more ready for the stage?
100%. I think the last time we might have been a little satisfied with finally getting here, and maybe just the whole environment itself. We spent a little too much time worrying about that stuff, but this time we're really just kind of focused on ourselves and knew we had a really good team, and if we knew we go out there and we compete to the best of our ability, good things will happen.
Hey, Pete, I think we got them all. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Got two more. Chad is next, and then the head coach. Hey, Chad,
How's it going?
can you hear us good?
Yes, sir.
All right. If you could open it up with a statement, and we'll take questions for you.
It was a great game. Glad we got the win. Glad we came out. Offense was hitting well. Defense played really well. And live to see another day.
All right. First question comes from Wes.
Yeah, Chad, I guess I'm wondering, with such kind of an early wake-up call and an early start today, how much different did that make the routine? Did it feel a little different at all?
It felt a little different just from waking up and kind of, at such an early time and then starting to, get my body loose a little early. But other than that, it's just same ball game, just earlier time. So you just make the adjustments you have to.
Would you call yourself a morning person normally, or are you a guy who kind of gets up ready to go, or are you kind of a build into the day kind of guy?
I'm not really a morning person at all. My alarms have to be really loud, but, I can if I have to be.
All right. Next, we got Ryan, Ben, and then Mike.
Talk me through that third inning, I guess, when Mississippi State was able to get some guys on. Just what was kind of your mindset getting out of that, and were you on any sort of pitch count going into the game?
I don't know if I was on a pitch count or not, but my mindset through that was I gave them a couple free bases, and free bases turned into runs. So just my mindset during that inning was just fill up the zone, and they'll hit into a ground ball or a pop up. Just get it out. You don't have to you don't have to do it all by yourself. You got a lot of guys back there helping you out.
Yeah, Chad, just kind of last night around the hotel or even just waking up this morning, was there any chatter amongst you and the guys about attacking today, or was it just kind of business as usual? I guess, do you feel like you all flushed it pretty quick yesterday and just kind of what was the mindset waking up this morning?
Yeah, I thought we flushed it pretty early, or pretty soon, I guess you should say. But we just, we realized on the bus that we can think about it and try to go back and change it. But in reality, you can't go back and change the past. So you just focus on the future. And this game was the future for us. And so we knew that it was win or go home. And so there was kind of like a pretty good feeling buzz throughout the team and on the buses, just ready to play.
Yeah. Chad, you kind of just touched that there, but what was your specific mindset for you going into this game? I mean, it's a team you guys didn't see this season. First time you guys have faced an elimination game like this as a team. Like, how did you approach it personally?
For me, I knew that they were a really good team, well-hitting team. They didn't, nothing was free out there on the mound. But I knew that they had never seen me in person. So I knew that it was a challenge for them as it was a challenge for me. So really it was just, attack their hitters and see what they can do. Offense got to a really good start and defense, like I said, played really well on top of that. So, just attacking their guys and see what plays out.
And who would you say on this team, maybe specifically among your roommates, is a morning person?
Connor Pavoloni. That's 100%, easily.
Okay, Troy is next.
Chad, I guess with the way things ended yesterday, I think it could be easy for guys to just look forward to the regional facing elimination and trying to preserve some arms and all that stuff. Was that ever a thought in y'all's dugout in the clubhouse?
Can you say that again? I'm sorry, I could barely hear you.
Was it ever a thought of just saving arms and saving pitches and all that stuff for the regional and maybe, not worrying so much about being on the brink of elimination today?
In my head, I wanted to save some arms by me going as long as I can. You always want to save arms when you have multiple games, but at the same time, in a win-lose situation, win or go home situation, you go all hands on deck. So yeah, in my head, I wanted to go as long as I could to help save the bullpen for later games. And it worked out all right.
Ben is next.
Yeah, Chad, I know you won't put too much thought into it after you give me an answer, but I am curious as to your thoughts about being the first pitcher at Tennessee to pick up 10 wins in a season since 2005, and then also helping Tennessee win its first SEC tournament game since 2007. Just how big of a feat is that, and how much does that mean to you that you were a part of that?
I think it's awesome. I didn't know that until you just said that. So, it's awesome. It's a big accomplishment for me. Hear that and, take that with pride. It's been really fun playing with these guys and playing with this program and coaches. So, just keep looking forward to the next game.
Wes, Mike, do you guys have additional questions?
I've got one more, yes.
Go right ahead.
Chad, I guess it's kind of rare in baseball where you're on the road and your game day and your game is finished before lunchtime. So I guess I'm wondering what's on the docket for the rest of the day. Do you just go back to the hotel and kick it? I mean, do you scout some games, stay at the park? I mean, what are y'all going to
do? First off, I'm going to get home and possibly take a nap. It's pretty hot out here, kind of tired, but yeah, I'll take a nap, probably go see my family, go grab a bite of food with them, and then just watch some more tournament baseball, see what the other games are like, and just get ready for the next game.
I have another one too. Chad, you guys could potentially get Bama tomorrow after the way that yesterday's game kind of went. Is that something that would be desirable for you guys?
As a team, we try not to pay attention, who's on the other side. You obviously you acknowledge who they are, but you don't worry, what's happened in the past and, what they've done in the past or what we've done in the past. You just got to focus on, what your plans are, your goals, and do what you can do. Just control what you can control.
Hey, thanks, Chad. We appreciate your help.
Anytime. Go Vols.
All right. Hey, Coach, can you hear us okay?
Yes, indeed.
Thank you, Coach. If you could just open it up with a quick recap of the game, and then we'll have questions for you.
Yeah, I mean, there was a lot that went on in the game, but the whole story is, they're all big wins. There isn't any win that's not big, but that might have been our best, or at the very least, one of our best wins of the year when you throw all circumstances out there on the table. Coming back from yesterday, not a lot of sleep, early wake up, facing a guy who came into the SEC is labeled as one of the best lefties in the conference and one of the best closers in the country, sitting down there waiting too. That's in everyone's mind, everything that went on. But it's a tough group of kids. We didn't have any magic speech or anything like that. They just like to compete, and they kind of seem to like the bounce back thing more than anything. Ready for whatever you got.
All right, thanks, Coach. Mike is up first.
Yeah, Tony, what did you see from Chad early on, just with the way that he attacked, and especially how he maneuvered that third inning where things could have gotten a little dicey?
Well, his first scrimmage inning on our campus, if I'm not mistaken, it was a leadoff double. And, we thought a lot of Chad. That's why he's on our campus. But it was just kind of interesting. Guy smoked the ball, and then he almost turned into a different guy with that runner at second, and he left him standing there in the scrimmage inning. So anytime you say something about your team, you can look at individuals and pick apart. So call it bounce back or some toughness or some resiliency. He seems to be at his best when his back is kind of up against the wall. But if you're just going to go the start of innings or the start of games, the beauty of coaching that kid is you kind of got a level of consistency there. He's not perfect, nor is anyone else, but you kind of get a consistent lead into the weekend or lead into the game. And I've said it over a million times. Our guys really love that, and they play behind him. So we got a normal Chad Dallas, and then we also got Chad when he's at his best, like I said, when his back's up against the wall a little bit.
Got Ben, Troy.
Yeah, Tony, I've got two for you. Just as a follow-up to Chad, were you pleased with the 93 pitches and the workload? Was that about where you wanted him today?
Yeah, and we were going to, I was teasing him that he wasn't going to get to see Allen again. That guy was hitting lasers, but he hits lasers off everybody. So we were going to give him until Allen, but, Skinner did such a good job against him with 2 strikes and also had barreled the ball earlier in the game. And just felt like it was good for him to go out on that note. He got us where we needed to be 3 times through the order, leave the game with a lead against an SEC team. That's huge. And so the one thing that I think you're kind of asking about too, the one good thing is we didn't have to overtax him. I mean, yes, he's started almost every weekend this year, but there was a weekend where there was a little bit of a break. We typically kind of ease our guys into longer, starts early in the season. And then on top of that, I really can't reflect and remember an outing where we kind of pushed him to the brink where he was well over 100 pitches. So nothing's perfect, but, worked out well.
Center fielder. It kind of felt like y'all hit the ball just a little bit. Like yesterday, you just found holes and got some over the wall today. Did it kind of feel like that to you as well?
Yeah, I think if you put together competitive or quality at-bats, odds will be in your favor. And that could be over the course of a game, a weekend, or a season, or a tournament. But you're not always going to get what you want. Even if you throw a good pitch, especially with high level of competition, the guy might square it up. Even though you maybe make a great play or turn a double play, the guy may beat it by a step. So, I spoke on the toughness part of our team. I think those guys are willing to put bad at-bats behind them and compete, or a bad swing behind them. And again, if you have those types of at-bats, then you'll find enough holes and all that stuff. I mean, Mississippi State hammered a couple balls too that we caught today, but at the end of the day, you make your own breaks.
Tony, was as a manager, was it important to jump out to that big lead early so you don't have to worry about doing the mental gymnastics of making sure guys are ready for the regional and all that stuff in terms of pitching and all that?
Yeah, I mean, no one's bags were packed today, so, but there would have been an obvious deal. I mean, just to flip it and look at Mississippi State, I mean, had the good pleasure of, legendary coach Ron Polk is around the facility and saw him, and we were just kind of chit-chatting about next week, and those guys will be plenty ready, and their fans will have them ready, and the SEC will have any team that maybe left here earlier than they want to, which is pretty much everybody unless you win the dang thing. The conference will have everybody ready, and they would have us ready regardless of how we go into the regional play. But no, what it really does is, Blade was in relief today, or was at least going to be available. We were not forced to do that. And then he gets one more start, repetition wise, if we use him tomorrow. But at the very least, it'll be good to continue to get some guys some reps going into next weekend. So again, nothing's in a perfect, dainty, nice little box. But our guys get another chance to compete in Hoover, which I know is what they wanted.
Yeah, Wes is next.
Yeah, Tony, I guess what kind of a jolt did y'all get from Pete's home run there? I mean, it's a tough lefty-lefty matchup. There's 2 outs. He just looked like he kind of got a fat one there and kind of did some damage with it. What kind of juice did that give the team?
It gave me, I'm going to be selfish, it gave me a huge jolt because the guy truly is one of the better bat control hitters in the country. And he's a starting hitter in the SEC, therefore he's one of the better hitters in the country. But like a lot of our guys, when they try too hard or go outside of themselves, they end up kind of marring or, taking away from their natural swing. And there wasn't a lot of effort to that swing. And kudos to him because, again, he's facing McLeod. So it was excellent work. And it gave the guys a jolt because we got a bunch of personalities. Some of them are goofier than others in our locker room. And Pete's just a guy that everybody cheers for. And, couldn't be happier for him when he does anything successful because they know he's always had their back. And kind of like Heflin and a few of the other guys that have been through thick and thin here, he's kind of literally bleeds orange. So it impacted the way the guys thought. It wasn't just about a 3-run lead.
Got Ryan next.
Liam was hitting the ball hard yesterday, but how good was it to see him have a big day? And how confident were you that his slump or cold stretch, whatever you want to call it, was going to be short-lived?
Yeah, I mean, if you go back to even South Carolina, a couple hard hit balls, in particular to right fielders, and yesterday hit a couple missiles. And so with the theme of, again, our team, you could either let that beat you down or you could come back with a little bit more determination. And there was something going on there with him in the cages. You just kind of felt it. He was determined to keep plowing ahead and just determined to have a good day. And the swings, delivered the same message or kind of said the same thing about the kid. So I hope I didn't step in front of him in his post-game interview, but he deserved that one. And we're obviously pretty dang blessed to have that guy leading off for us.
And then Troy found the stat, but Landon Sims had just given up 15 hits all season going into the game. I know it wasn't a super high leverage situation, but just how impressive was it you guys were able to get 5 hits on him?
Yeah, it's different for him when you're a closer and you go outside of your role. Circumstances change a little bit. But at the same time, we knew we had a good opportunity to face that guy today. And the one bit of confidence we can take is, again, the lefties we've seen in this league, I don't know who will play in the future outside of our conference, but it can't be anyone that's better. And then same thing, Leiter, Rocker, Cops, Sims, you'd be leaving other people out too if I kept going. Our guys have seemed to have a good approach against those guys. And again, I think they like a little bit of the bounce back thing or the challenge thing, or we played pretty well on the road. So I think all that stuff goes hand in hand. But we're very fortunate to do what we did, and then probably whoever has to face that guy the rest of the year is going to hate us because I don't know if he'll give up another run.
Got Tim next.
Hey, Tony, after the way yesterday's game ended and to see the way these kids bounce back, they didn't pack it in. They didn't say, hey, we'll just go win at the regional. What does that say about this team's character and grit?
If you just kind of go full circle, it's why we're where we're at. I mean, it's nice to hear people talk about winning the division or winning a certain amount of games in our league, but to this point, we've done a lot of good things. And you could interview Chad, or you could talk about Pete's home run. Each game's kind of got its own little individual story, but the entire story from start to finish with the group, including. I feel bad for every kid out there with the pandemic circumstances, but even just starting with stuff as simple as that, I mean, we really handled a lot of that stuff well. The GPA was super high. I mean, I don't mean to try and recruit you to our program, but this group in particular just seemed like everything that was thrown at them, they handled it pretty well. Heck, our first road trip, it was on the road. Most SEC teams start at home, at least the warm weather ones. And our bus broke down like 30 minutes down the road, and adversity's kind of been thrown at them just as it is every other club. And they seem to kind of like it, or at least at the very least they respond well.
Got Ben next.
Yeah, Tony, I wanted to ask about tomorrow's pitching plan, I guess. Do you anticipate Blake starting, and what would his workload look like if so, and how important is it to get Kirby some innings?
I think Curb was hot the first day, and I think it's important to have him in the mix. He's an important strike thrower for us. And then the fans certainly get excited whenever that goofy mustache and his hair come running out of the bullpen. So we'd like to use him. Obviously, like I kind of already mentioned, we'd like to use Blade in some capacity before we leave here. So, he can say postseason outing or whatever. But again, the competition level is something that prepares all of our guys. But we haven't made any final decisions. But those are two guys I definitely would like to see on the mound at some point before we leave here. And tomorrow's another, call it do or die if you want. But it's just a baseball game. So we'll have those guys ready to rock and roll.
Got time for one more. Wes, did you have another question?
Yes. Tony, when you're, I guess it's kind of rare to have a game where you're done, you're on the road and you're done by or before lunchtime. So I guess I'm wondering what the rest of the day looks like for y'all. I mean, do you just go back to the hotel and kick it? Do you stay at the park and watch some games? What's that schedule like?
Yeah, I assume you or everyone else listening has never had a bad nap. So me and Chad were out in the locker room. We both said the same thing. It feels like it's 5 o'clock. So definitely everything's been turned upside down a little bit, but because there is that time, you can kind of get yourself sorted out with a couple meals and relax a little bit. And, you don't have to go crazy at the hotel preparing because we don't even necessarily know who we play. So just kind of recalibrate everything and get off your feet and relax. We won't have any super strategy or anything like that. It'll be wake up tomorrow and kind of have the same energy and approach that we had today, and we'll see where it leaves us.
Hey, Coach, we appreciate your time. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you guys. Take it easy.